Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is James and welcome back to another video. So me and my dad are here. We're actually sitting on the floor. We've set up a little, I don't know what, like a floor sofa for you guys.
Futon.
Yeah, because you guys have said about lighting and we completely understand, but obviously we're very, very limited to our resources at the moment. Hopefully that will change in the future, but right now we are very limited. So we've done our best. Hopefully the lighting is much better for you guys. It seems to look that way. But today we're going to be talking about Salon QP, which we went to yesterday.
Yeah.
It was an absolute blast. Something went very wrong towards the end. It has nothing to do with Salon QP, but our bus transport. What I will do, I'll put an annotation on screen where you can go watch the vlog, where we talk about it, obviously, and you see it all happening. Also, you can see the trip to London that me and my dad had and everything like that. But real briefly, the bus was an hour and 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be there at 6:30 and it got there, I think, at 7:30, but didn't leave till 7:15, and then it broke down twice on the way home. So we were supposed to be home for 9:15.
Yeah, it was midnight.
And it was past midnight.
It was half past.
I got in at 12:25, so it would have been about 10 past, quarter past 12. When we broke down the second time, we just got out and got a taxi. Other than that though, Salon QP was amazing. I really enjoyed my time there. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was incredible to meet so many enthusiastic manufacturers, creators. It was incredible.
Yeah, and we had an absolute blast. It was just really, really good, and I'd highly advise it to anyone. But the way we're going to do this is probably going to be split up into a few parts because there's so much to talk about. What we're going to do today is go through in order of what rooms we went in and share our experiences. On here it has a list of the rooms and then what brands and people were in the room. We're going to be completely honest, and it feels like a shame that I have to mention this, but if you're watching this and you can't take honesty, please just go off the video now. I'm a bit fed up with people not just, I don't know, like getting offended by someone having a different opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. That's the point of this. Arguments, like have a constructive argument rather than just completely disagree. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
It makes no sense that people do that. Anyway, besides the point, we're going to start off with the first room we went in, where we saw brands such as, well, I'll let you start because you actually were the first one to sort of get into a conversation with someone whilst we were there.
Yeah. Well, basically what we saw when we first walked through the doors was a beautiful silver Morgans.
Yeah, I'm going to put pictures on throughout this as we go through. Some will be from my dad, some will be from...
Basically, Morgan is a UK company. They hand build bespoke sports cars, very vintage looking, absolutely wonderful to see in the flesh.
Yeah, they were beautiful.
So that was brilliant just to walk through and to see that. And then on the first room we went in, I actually met a creator and owner of a company called 4N. His name is Francois Quentin. Hopefully not butchered his name. Basically, it's from Paris and has created a unique take on the jump watch. It's a fully mechanical watch with a digital readout. So it's got like a digital numerics. And they're running on 2 discs.
So this functions the same as a jump hour watch?
It does, but it's actually, it's got, instead of a dial or with just the numbers in like a window, it's a huge watch. It's supposed to be one of the biggest watches ever created, and he's very proud of the fact that he's...
Oh, Audemars Piguet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, you know...
So he's worked with AP?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's really cool.
They've helped him with manufacturing process. They use their vast knowledge of finishing of the mechanical movement, and it was just so amazing to actually physically speak to the owner and the creator of this watch. Not to everybody's taste, and you'll see from the pictures.
Yeah.
But for its technical achievements that it's created, it's just moving the whole watch movement forward.
Yeah, so I feel we should give a bit of history on Salon QP actually, because I've just realised we're jumping straight into this and the brands we saw. Salon QP has been around for a very, very long time. It's a boutique international luxury watch show or exhibition hosted at the Saatchi Gallery in London. So that's where we went. And what this show is about is showing the watches to the public, but not from a sales standpoint. It's like their pride that no one there should be a sales rep. Everyone should have had some sort of impact on either the design, the manufacturing, an actual watchmaker. All the people there should know about the brand itself, the inspiration behind the pieces, everything like that, rather than just a sales rep. And that's what makes this really, really interesting, because you meet people who actually had a design, had impact on the design, or are literally the makers themselves. And we'll get onto a few more actual designers and CEOs of the companies that we met in a second. But that was absolutely incredible. I didn't actually get to see for it, and somehow I completely missed it. Pretty much we started on the top floor and worked our way down, because we thought it'd be the best way to do it, because everyone would be bottom floor working their way up. Let's move on to what else we saw on that floor. So you met 4N, and then Fears. Fears is something I saw. I don't think you did. You
no,
see it?
I didn't, because I was speaking obviously with Francois.
So we went on the Saturday. Now Fears, the brand was actually set up, or re-established, should I say, the day before. So it was re-established at Salon QP. They were showing their watches for the first time at Salon QP, and everyone there was just really fresh. One of the guy I spoke to, I completely can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. Really cool guy, but he's actually he wasn't even a watch guy. You know, he was just a friend of the young guy. Very young, the owner was. I think he's in his mid-20s, I think, 24, 25. And it was actually his great-great-granddad's brand, established in 1846, I want to say. And obviously re-established 2016. So he's re-established it based on his bloodline and everything, and just he's brought people on who he knows through different things. But this guy pretty much wasn't a watch guy. I asked him what watches he owned, and he says he had a Cartier that his family gave him, and that was it. And now he's got a Fears watch. Nothing against that. I'm just saying everyone there who was part of Fears, apart from the CEO, didn't really seem like watch guys. They just seemed like business guys. You know, people who understood business and understood how to push a brand and promote a brand, which is cool that they're doing that. And also they're on my best list because they gave me free chocolate. Okay, they are my friends. They gave me chocolate in my goodie bag. Did you see these?
No, I can say I missed. I mean,
did you see the chocolate?
No.
Did I not show you? Oh,
no.
Well, they gave us free chocolate, milk chocolate. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'll put some pictures up of their watches on screen. What I will probably also do is grab a lot of pictures off Google, because the lighting was pretty crap in general. So there's going to be some brands we didn't get very good lighting on. And also, we're not going to talk about every single brand, because there were a few brands we completely skipped over because we just weren't interested. And also they weren't interested. And we'll get onto a couple of them later, which was just quite hilarious, to be honest. But so Fears are doing something really cool. They had two designs at the moment. I think they were both manual wind watches or automatics, and they were showcasing some of the old watches that the owners used to own, and some of the very first pocket watches actually that the owners used to have. And it was really, really cool to show stuff like that. And unfortunately, I didn't get to speak to the guy who re-established the brand, but he seemed like a cool guy, and I wish him the best.
Just another point on that. On the Saturday, they were actually doing a series of seminars, and one of them was how to re-establish a watch brand. Basically, there will be a panel of such as Fears who will be sitting and advising people who are asking questions, and just the way to go about actually re-establishing old brands that have just gone in the past, and the actual name is still available. It's just a case of knowing who to approach and how to go about re-establishing it and bringing the brand back to life.
And I'm really hoping it's going to be recorded and put on YouTube for everyone to see it. I get a feeling it might not be, but I'm hoping it will be. And I want to see if they touch on the financial aspect a bit of how to set up a brand, because I feel like that's something that's not really going to be spoke about. I feel like it's going to be something that's going to be even considered taboo in the community by their standards to talk about the financial side, because I'm not making assumptions here, but the guys who were involved with Fears seem like wealthy guys. You know, they seem like they probably have inherited quite a lot, and that's where they got the money to re-establish it. It's a big assumption to make, and I mean it with no offense at all. It's just what came across to me. So I would love to see someone do that kind of talk, but talking about the financial side, how to actually do it financially and how much you're looking at to do it, because I'd love to do something like that, but obviously I'd need to know the financials before anything else, because for me, we've not got rich ancestors who have just left us loads.
The
Probably gonna put this bit. I'm gonna put it on screen of what it is.
They're based in Barcelona, basically. Yes.
I thought they were Swiss.
No. They're based in Barcelona, so it's a Spanish company that has created a very vintage-looking brand.
So I didn't get to speak them. I saw them through the glass and everything. They looked really, really nice, and the really clean design. It really looked vintage. I actually thought they'd bought vintage watches along, but they're not.
Another thing is they're all handmade one-off timepieces.
Oh.
They are all going to be unique and they'll only be one-off each piece.
Well, there you go. Did you get a chance to speak to them?
No.
No. So we
just taking from.
just taking it
from the postcard.
So, between us, we literally got pretty much every piece of paperwork, all books, everything between the pair of us.
It's about £50 worth of
in terms of weight.
In weight in books. So
in terms of financial, it's probably a lot more than that.
It probably is. Those books are very well
made. They're
literally
literal books, and that's what we're going to go over in a couple of other episodes, showing everything we got. So and the reason we got it all, I noticed a few people only picked up like Nomos, the thing they were really interested in, or a few things, whereas we kind of like went for everything. The reason being, we're so new to this that I think any information is valuable information. Absolutely. And not only that, with the YouTube channel, it's going to make for some great content in the future, because there's brands I'd never heard of, and now I've got a complete catalogue and backstory of their history and everything. I just think it's going to be really, really interesting.
Justin Richardson.
Who?
Justin Richardson. Justin Richardson was the creator of a very unique looking watch. It's basically, if you look on Google for a 1930s MG, you will see a badge, and his logo design is very much in that line. Yeah, they've gone for that kind of look. And they're using a series of use the latest in technology, as well as ancient from the 1800s technology in watch movements and creation, the actual dials themselves of how to create the effect. So very interesting guy to speak to.
So we spoke to the actual CEO and designer who makes the watches himself. Everything about him is handmade apart from the movements. He gets them imported. It may be Swiss Ronda quartz or Salita movements, but pretty much they're all the movements are imported, but everything else is handmade by him. All the precious metals, obviously not handmade by him, but it's all made of precious metals. There was gold, platinum, palladium. That one. Dials were, the way he was explaining it was, it's like a layer of silver with stuff on top. So that way, when you dig into the layer on top, you're digging into a next layer of silver.
Yeah, it's like laminated layers. Yeah. Basically, what they do is they scrape through the layers to create an effect.
Yeah.
The cases themselves, I believe, were designed using the 3D printing.
What was it?
I'm sure that's what he said.
Did it?
It was either 3D printing or CAD. It was something that he was then able to create a watch to fit the individual person. So whether you wanted a larger watch, a smaller watch, he could create a watch to fit you.
Yeah. So because everything was completely handmade by him, he also said that if you gave him a phone call and said, I really like this watch that you've made, but I want it a bit bigger and maybe with a different movement, he'd be able to do that for you because he makes them himself, which I thought was really cool. Their pricing, though, for what it is, was good, because you're paying about £9,000 for a solid gold, 18 karat red gold piece that's completely custom. Had a diamond set crown, leather strap, and 18 karat buckle, and that would cost you almost 10 grand, 9,900, which for what it is pretty damn good. But I still think for what they're doing, it might be a bit ambitious. Is that fair to say? Because you like the way they looked, right?
I like the metallic effect, but using the chemicals or whatever manufacturing process they use to react in the way it did, it was very organic. I found very natural way of dealing with metal. May not be available to everybody, but with Salon QP.
But should something like this be available to everyone? I don't think it should be available to everyone.
No, I think the whole point of Salon QP is to show that there is innovation and invention going on in the watch community that we don't see. Yeah. You know, we only see the headlines when major groups suddenly close something that's been around for 100 or 200 years.
Yeah, you don't usually hear a brand
small
coming along.
businesses that, he was a jeweller. Yeah. That's his background. He isn't a watchmaker, he's a jeweler, and he's creating jewellery. That's what he felt, and that's what he was creating. So his ability to bring out the metal in a way that's quite unusual to see today, then, you know, I think is a great thing. I mean, pricing, you know, it's something that, you know, you're not going to see every day on the street. It's not, there is only him as an outlet. He isn't going to be using, you know, department stores or Harrods or anywhere where to promote them. He'll be doing it all himself. So I think, you know,
I respect what he's doing massively. Yeah, and that wasn't what I was saying. I was just saying I didn't quite like the look of them.
Yeah.
But I respect what he's doing. I can see there would be a very large market for something like that. So all the best to him, and I hope he continues doing really well. We will be going again next year, so obviously we'll do an update if certain people are there, based on what they're playing. So we're talking about Rebellion. We're jumping into it.
Yeah.
Rebellion timepieces. I think I saw them briefly, but I didn't really talk to anyone there or look at anything that long. But you said you took a lot of pictures.
Yeah, I mean they're a Swedish brand. Based
they're Swedish.
Yeah, they're based in Lonnay, the banks of Lake Geneva. So Swiss. Yeah, so they're Swiss.
Not Swedish.
Sorry, Swiss. Swiss. And again, very unique looking pieces. Going and using an industrial three-dimensional.
I want to show this. The best way to describe this, because you're describing it with all these terms which are very good to describe it, I'd say very Hublot-esque. This is literally Big Bang territory. I look at this and I see a Big Bang, and Big Bang is about being bold, it's about making a statement, it's about just being, like you said, extremely industrial. And that is exactly what I see with this particular one. I don't remember seeing this one there. But yeah, they definitely are doing something different. Hublot-esque, but with more industrial look. That's the best way I'd describe it. They're definitely pushing the limits, aren't they? And doing some very interesting things.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I didn't see enough of them to really speak more about.
Basically, Wolf, they're called Wolf, and established in 1834.
Watchwinders and watch carriers and that sort of stuff. Leather
travel cases, and watch boxes.
Like storage. This.
And this is something that we got in a goodie bag with a t-shirt. Absolutely
Which
stunning.
we'll show in more detail when it comes to the next video that we do about this.
So very interesting guys to speak to. I had a long conversation with one of the guys there.
The CEO was there, that was the other guy. They're very young, it's a very young business that was started up by young people, and it's a very, best way to put it is like a visionary idea, wasn't it? To like really compete with the high-end stuff, bring that high-end quality but not at such a high-end price. Of course, it's still expensive for what it is, but they've really branched out. You know, they've got a partnership with Lumbers here in Leicester, and they've really branched out. They create really great quality stuff. Young, like I said, they're young and they're really pushing the limits of what can be done with a niche within a niche. Because at the end of the day, dedicating to watch winders in watches is a niche, a massive niche. But then luxury watch winders is getting even more niche, and you've got to respect them for that. That's really pushing the limits. You spoke to him for quite a while. What were they like? Yeah,
I mean, they were great guys to speak to. I mean, we were just really just talking about collecting and his interest in Seiko, and he absolutely adored my 7/8 3/8, bowled over by it. He kept saying to his colleague, you know, have a look at this, have a look at this. So that was nice.
His colleague was the CEO who had a Hublot Big Bang on his wrist, which I saw.
That's right. Yeah, they were great guys and very approachable.
So one brand that I went and saw was called Auralog. They were doing something very interesting with design. They're only just bringing out their first mechanical watches, and everything else was quartz. But if we look past that, let's just have a look at their design. I'll put pictures up on screen. They're really doing something different. It was actually done by an artist named May Hayen. I think that's how you say his name. He's an artist actually, and he's done many different pieces of art. He did one with, the guy was showing me, he was showing me through this book that they had of all of his art, and there was one of Mexican wrestlers. Is it Mexican wrestlers with the masks?
Yes. Yeah.
With the masks. He did an art of the mask made out of ceramic, which I thought was really cool. He showed me a couple of pieces. He also did like a rabbit or something that was completely made of gold. It was really cool. They did some really interesting stuff, but he's moved on to watches now, and he started a brand called Auralog, and they do some very different design. It's very square, it's very different. Like the texturing in the dial was different, the pushers are completely different, like everything just looked really different. Unfortunately, He didn't show me anything, and I did ask, but he moved on to another subject. So I don't know if he didn't want to get any watches out or something. But unfortunately, he didn't show me any, like actually let me handle them. But they looked really cool, and it's definitely an interesting idea and design. I don't know. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I quite liked the sort of square design. Going on the vein of saying this, but to me, it looks very much like the iWatch.
Yeah, so that was actually one thing he was saying about the sizing.
Yeah.
The sizing is 39mm, if I remember correctly, and it's apparently just a little bit smaller than the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
And that was made that size for a certain reason, because it's the perfect size for both sexes.
Yeah.
It was the perfect size to fit on a wrist as a square object, and they got a lot of influence from that. Obviously, they did their own research as well, they were saying. But one thing that I thought was really interesting as well is that the artist who designed the watches gets a lot of inspiration from nature, and there was actually one he was showing me where the face or the dial, if you look really closely, it resembles like a seagull, which was really cool. And then there was another one which had a monkey's face with the chronographs, you know, with the eyes, and the last one was the mouth. I'll try and put some pictures up of them ones on screen as well. It was just very interesting, very different, and I thought it was really, really cool to see a brand doing something different, like a lot of them are at the moment. There's another brand, I'll put the name on screen because I think we're butchering it, Acrivia. I followed them on Instagram for a little while now, and I didn't know they were actually going to Salon QP until the day. I was liking some of their tweets and stuff, and we got there and we had a look. This lovely lady showed us the watches, and she was very into the watches herself, you know, and she was really passionate to show us them. She even got a couple out from inside and everything. This one that was had like gold dust on the dial or something. Yeah. Very different. Not all of them, but a lot of them have like a tourbillon and a very sterile dial with two very distinctive hands, and then the branding across like the center. Really nice, really, really nice. Had a lot of presence, you know, a lot of weight. Movement on the back was just beautiful as well, wasn't it? You know, really, really nice. What did you think?
I mean, personally, to me, it actually looked like the front end of an old steam engine, where you've got the on front of the boiler, because it's got that the sheet metal and then the nameplate, which was always on the old steam engines, and with the open hearts and the tourbillon, I just think it's just so nice to see watches that show, you know, the living heart of the watch, and anything that gives you that when you look in the light and you can see through the watch, you know, because it got the open case back as well. It got so much decoration. I just love the piece. I think it's so unusual, that particular take on the dial.
The next one we went and saw was Arnold and Son. Now, I'd been quite excited to actually see some of these because I follow them again on Instagram, and the pieces are beautiful, and I have to say we were not let down by their pieces. They were absolutely beautiful. I got quite a few pictures as well. The detailing, there was the dragon one. Did you see that one with the oh my god, incredible, absolutely incredible. Now, the only complaint I have is not with the brand, but the people there seemed more like sales reps than people who actually had input on the design and passion for the brand. We went over there and they didn't really seem at all eager, and there was quite a few of them, any of them, to really talk to us or show us. And I asked to see one of them, and he was quite hesitant, wasn't he? You know, and he literally just put it on the table and kind of looked away. So compared to our experiences with the other ones, maybe that was because they were the CEOs, but there was a few of them that weren't, and they were still amazing. So I just felt like they were lacking a bit in terms of the people they took. So Arnold and Son, I'll do it next time, don't worry. What did you think of the watches?
I think, again, it's going back to the traditional way of looking at watches, and having a lot of them were skeletonized. Again, I just love the fact that you can see, you know, the beating heart of the watch, and it just fascinates me. You can watch it all day, you know, just the ticking and the moving of the cogs, and you look so deep into the watch, and that's the excellent thing that I find with Arnold and Son, that they've created something that looks beautiful, it's got all the functionality. It's very, even though it's completely skeletonized on a lot of them, you can still clearly see what the time is. The hands are beautifully made and tapered. I just think it's brilliant.
Really, really beautiful. And it was nice to see them in person finally.
Yeah.
I think this might be split up into 2 episodes as well, this part just going through, because there's so much we want to say about each brand, and I don't really want to cut any short either. The next one we saw was these. I don't know how you pronounce this. Do you want to give it a go?
I think it's Czapek. Czapek, I believe it's
Czapek.
Czapek.
Maybe something like that. I think is it Polish?
Czapek and Son, I believe that's how you say it.
Actually,
they were Swiss, founded in Geneva in 1845, so it's a very old brand.
An outstanding Czech-born Polish watchmaker. So the guy Czapek, or however you say it, Czapek, is actually Czech-born Polish watchmaker. So yeah, the brand essentially has got heart from Poland. Essentially, isn't it? Because the watchmaker himself was Polish, born in Czech Republic. Really, really cool. Nice little bit of history there. Yeah. And their watches were beautiful. Really, really nice in my opinion. I've never heard of them.
No, I mean, it reminds me very much of the pocket watch. They've gone very much the
hands.
Yeah, I mean, everything is just beautifully made, beautifully finished, and basically the company has been reborn in 2013 with 3 entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and they're really, really beautiful. I'd say if you get an opportunity, go try them on, have a look. I don't have a clue what their pricing's like. I don't think we even asked, did we? So the next person we saw, or I saw, was Die Rich. I saw the brand Die Rich, and I went over, and obviously, for those of you that don't know, they create very different watches. That's what I want to say, very different. And KDP Ross actually owns one, and I remember him saying to me, like, they're very different. Doesn't know if I'm gonna like it, because when he sent me his collection to review, I'm gonna get back to collection review, guys. Give me some time. He said he didn't know if I'd like it, and I actually really liked the design of it. I thought it was different. So when I saw him, I was really excited to try them on, see what they felt like and everything. And I was just talking away with the guy and having a look at his watches, because he was wearing 2 of them, and I was just trying them on, and he was telling me all about them. I was like, so what influence do you have on the brand? Like, what are you to the brand? He's like, I am Die Rich, and it was Samuel Die Rich himself, Emmanuel Die Rich, sorry, himself, who I was talking to for all that time. And obviously I was just like, wow, that is absolutely amazing that I was talking to him for all that time and I didn't even realise. And I feel kind of bad, but obviously I didn't know. And we was just talking away. He was really, really approachable, really down to earth, nice guy. And I gave him my business card for the YouTube channel. I told him what I'd do, and he's like, send me an email. He's like, send me an email and we'll send you one for review, definitely. So I'm going to catch you up on that. And I'm really, really excited to get my hands on one. They're very, very nice, very different. And what did you think of them?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I like the sort of relating to nature. It's very much like, to me, like a spider's web. Hands are very much leaf-like. In their form.
Yeah, they were built really well as well. I liked them. For the prices as well, I think you're getting quite a lot of watch, but I don't know. I'll have to see. And the straps are very different as well. Very nice to feel. But I like what they've done with the straps, and I think with any NATOs it will be fine. But they've limited themselves a bit, because then you have to buy straps from them to go on the watch. I can understand it from a business point of view, but from a user friendliness point of view, it's not as user friendly as I think it could have been.
Yeah,
personally.
I think what they've done is they've tried to embody the nature and this whole sort of spider web effect thing that they've got going on.
So Garrick, we didn't actually. I think we had a quick look at the brand. And I had a quick look around, but we were more interested in meeting the guy himself, who unfortunately wasn't there when we went over there, but we later saw him walking up the stairs as we was going. So it was a bit of a shame that we missed him, but maybe next year we'll catch him. So MB&F, we went and saw MB&F. I was really, really excited to see them. We saw the little robot, which is the time thing with the key that's in the shield. Really, really cool. We saw some of their pieces. Unfortunately, we didn't get to talk to them for very long, because there were 2 what I think are very important people who were standing there at the same time. So they had like all 4 members of staff's attention. I'm sorry if you're that person watching this who was like the owner of the thing or something, but they were clearly very important because they were getting the attention of everyone. So we were just looking, and the pieces look absolutely incredible. I can get the obsession personally. I think they look amazing. They're different. They're just so unique. and MB&F are just doing amazing things. It was just a shame we didn't really get to speak to anyone.
Yeah, I mean, we got a few photos, you know, that you'll be able to see. But I just love the whole engineering, you know, technology that they're using to create these pieces. What I've found is that there's been a real theme throughout the show that they're harking back to days gone by, and try and revitalise the love and passion that people had for pocket. But there are brands out there that can make it attainable to everybody.
MB&F isn't one of them.
No.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I feel that, you know, with the way that the innovating industry, with what they're creating, it then makes you know, brands like Seiko and all sorts that will be looking at these people and saying, I like that idea, let's introduce something similar on a similar basis. And I think that's how, you know, it moves through.
I think there's exciting things to come down the line in the watch industry. Right now, everyone's just talking about the bad things, the crash that's about to happen, the bubble we're in, the Rolex price hikes, everything like that. All the bad smartwatches ruining everything. I think there's a lot of exciting things that are going to come from the bad. Everyone seems to forget that whilst the quartz crisis was a crisis, it also born new ideas, new innovations, and really pushed brands to their absolute limits of what they could produce. And I think that is good. And I think we're going to see the same happen again.
And I think that innovation is just going to grow with the use of 3D printing, the open source network. I think we'll be finding so many unique designs that are going to come out.
The next brand we went and looked at was Mortis Grossman. I don't really remember much about them, to be completely honest, apart from they're very clean designed and just looked really, really nice. Didn't they do the chronograph one? That was inspired by the race car.
Depending on the angle,
mesh,
there was the dial finish was a mesh, and when you look through, you got like a skeletonized see-through, and then if you turn it another way, you saw another part of the mechanics behind the watch, it's very much a Glashute dial, so very, very clean with the sub-dial, very legible, beautiful looking pieces.
So the next brand is Auralog, or however you pronounce it. I'll put it up on screen. They were showing one of their jump hour kind of style, how to tell the time kind of watches that was a new innovation in how to read the time. And when she was explaining to me, I had not a single clue what she was on about. It made no sense at all. But then she got the watch out and was showing me. I think you was trying to fix a bag because the bag broke, right?
Yeah.
The bag broke and all the books went everywhere. We had to fix that. But whilst he was doing that, I was looking at the watch. So the way it works is at the bottom, there's like the minute counter from 0 to 60, and it goes across like this in an arch. I'll put a video up on screen. You can see how it works. So there's the hand that's got the hour on that would say 5, and it'd go across this way along the minute. So that hand would stay saying 5. And it'd go around 5 and, you know what I mean, like keep going around to 60, and then it'd flick back and snap onto the next arm that would then say 6. Now, what's going on in the background that you don't see because there's only 3 sticks, is the hand that's coming round is spinning to show the next time of the next hour. The video explains it perfectly. I thought this was absolutely amazing, and I really, really congratulate them for making something like this, isn't it? It's just, it was amazing. I was saying to you, this is when you've got money and this is your upgrade, your System 51, isn't it? Your unique piece.
Yeah, it is so unique in its style and its take on how to tell the time. It's simplistic in the way that it shows the time, but it's so technical in the way it achieves it with the various dials that you've got that you know shows you the power reserve and all sorts of things that are going on with the watch.
It was really unique, very unique. Definitely not like a beginner's watch or something that you just pick up off a fluke, but it's definitely a really, really cool idea. And I'm excited to see what more they're going to probably do with it. I think that's going to be the interesting. Right, so the next one is Volt watches. When it comes to this, I don't know how to exactly pronounce or explain it? Who did we meet? Did we
Mark
actually meet?
Schwartz.
We actually met the founder and
Yeah.
CEO.
Yeah.
So we actually met the founder and CEO of the company. They hadn't had any prototypes. Nothing's been made yet. Everything is just theory right now, and I want to make that clear because you've got to be careful when it's just theories and it's not actually been made yet, because it might never ever go through. I'm probably going to show a video if I can. I'm going to try and find a video online that explains it. If I do find the video, you're going to see the video now, and we're not going to talk any more about it. I'm going to let you decide on your own. If not, I'm also going to throw this in anyway, probably. So that's just what we'll give your opinions on the idea, because it is just an idea at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a different take of telling the time using a large minute hand, and then the hours are actually on the ceramic discs that rotate. The watch physically, the whole dial rotates when it's changing the hours. Yeah, there's a whole series of mechanics that work through the center column, that work the three wheels that rotate the whole dial. And again, it's just such a unique way of telling the time, and they use different metals, so there's different finishes, they're taking orders already for this particular watch, so it is going to happen.
Of course, but it's not been made yet. Nothing has been made yet. They made that very clear to us, so
yeah.
I'm going to do the same to you.
Yeah.
Whilst it's up for orders, just as I have a watch that I've not even spoke about on the channel, and it's been out for ages now, a watch that's coming soon, hopefully, that I kickstarted. The reason I've not spoke about it is because I don't want to promote something that's not been made yet and could be total garbage and not work the way they should. I'm wishing them the best, but I'm going to be careful not promote it too much, because it's not, they didn't show us a physical thing, so. Unlike the other one that showed it, where it changes, that was absolutely amazing. Yeah. And I can say that because I saw it, whereas this, I didn't see it, we just saw videos and them explaining. So I wish you the best, and I hope it works. And when it comes out, we'll probably give our full opinion, or I'll give my full opinion then. Yeah. But you really liked it, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, the whole aspect of it is based on the bank vaults. Yeah. So it's the locking system of a bank vault. So with the series of cogs and wheels that are set in the locking system. So when you pull the crown out to adjust the minutes, it physically releases a set of cogs specific to the minutes. You then pull it out again to adjust the hours, and again it sets out another set. So it's very much like the vault system of the bank vaults. And again, when you,
that's where they got the name from, vault.
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah, it's really, really interesting. From the videos, like I said, it looked amazing. I just wish they brought a prototype or something so we could see literally it working rather than a video. And I'm hoping next year they'll have them there and they'll be out and released. So. But I wish them the best, and I hope to see what they're going to do. So I'm going to end that episode right here. This is going to be episode 1. We've literally only covered the first floor of the 3-story building. We're talking probably a bit too much, but we want to go into detail about what we experienced. I think that's the best way to do it. So I hope you enjoyed this first episode. Make sure you come back for the second episode, where we're going to talk about brands such as Christopher Ward, Young Hands, Nomos, and just a big variety of brands, Chapard, many other ones. So make sure you come back, and Bremont and how we was disappointed. We've got to put a sneak peek in there, haven't we?
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, leave a like, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and peace out.